Yeah, I just assumed we weren't picking anyone up for the fucking...
There's a lot of things that I would do for you that I wouldn't fucking do for other people, John. And welcome back to Give It To Me Straight. Come on. What is wrong with you?
And welcome back to Give It To Me Straight.
Like, it's not that difficult. I'm Alex.
And I'm John, and I am your gracious host.
Remember when you used to say, gracious host.
This is only episode 2, and I'm already fucking annoyed. This is our 5th time just trying to do the intro.
Because it's
my fault.
You keep fucking it up.
It's my fault.
Stop. Just stop.
Stop what? I haven't seen you in 4 days.
Exactly. And you come in.
You're already annoyed.
You're annoyed with me. Like, how am I already annoyed?
You're just anal retentive with certain things.
Me? You're like, what day are we saying it is today? We're recording on a Monday, but we drop it on a Tuesday. You were mad because I didn't say, and welcome back to Give It To Me Straight the exact way you wanted it. What? Because you literally go, welcome back to Give It To Me Straight. I'm John, and I'm a sad, sad boy. Like,
I'm going to blink twice. Alex is torturing me.
Okay, I'm going to blink 3 times.
Oh, my God.
John's torturing me. Anyway, happy Tuesday, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 2. We're glad that you tuned in. However, do I have something on my nose?
Oh, I was itching my nose. Sorry.
I do want to preface before we start this episode because... I don't know how many people were triggered. I really don't read the comments, but I saw one person was pretty triggered that we didn't give good advice.
Oh, I know.
We gave a disclaimer that this is not...
We're not licensed therapists.
We're not professionals. We're not licensed therapists. This is for fun. And if you want actual good advice, I pay my therapist for tangible tools of what I can actually use to help my circumstances in life.
And I'm too cheap to get a therapist, so I'm hoping Alex gives me some of the knowledge.
Cheap or just stubborn or what is it? There's lots of things where I think you could benefit from therapy.
I'm sure. You're probably right.
But anyway, if you actually have problems that you want real answers to, don't fucking ask us.
No.
So if you came here for good advice, you're in the wrong spot.
I feel like it's our opinion, right? We're giving our opinion on something and we're kind of just saying it how it is. I don't know how to give advice. I'm not
we're just,
good at
again, yeah.
We're all just living.
We're not trying to take this too seriously.
Life.
So it is what it is.
Also, when you write fucking questions in a way that it's one-sided and how you say certain things makes you sound stupid, it's kind of hard for me not to judge a little bit. And like I said in the last episode, I'm like, hey, maybe if this was written differently, I would side with you more. But you
either way, disclaimer again, we're not professionals. Okay. So go seek counseling if you actually want good advice. But anyway, how was your weekend, John?
It's so fucking cold in here. My nose is
I know.
running.
Well, I was going to just wear a tank, but I need this nice cozy sweater.
We need to put a heater in here.
Warm me up. We have one.
No, a legit heater, not a floor heater that can...
You mean we just need to get heat in here?
Anything, yeah.
We'll just wait for in 2 months. It's going to be boiling hot in here.
Oh, I hope so. Well,
so how was your weekend, John? What'd you do?
I had my friend visit me, and I was trying to show him a good time in LA, but I don't know enough about LA. I feel like LA is not really a place to party. It just...
I think it's what you know of LA is not the party scene. There's plenty of places to party, but that's just not what you're into in this stage of life.
Clubbing?
Right.
I don't know. I feel like
did he want to go clubbing?
Probably go downtown. I don't really know. We're day drinkers, so we went to the waterfront in Venice and hung out there, which was cool. It was still cold as shit though, so we were there for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And once again, we have a dog, so I had to come home early to let him out.
Don't blame everything on Kobe.
Everything with Kobe is just inconvenient.
I love him. You think that you have to let him out way more often than you do.
I'm not going to torture the fucking dog. You let him sit here for hours.
Yeah, but he can hold his pee for 3 hours. I think you just like to use him as a crutch, how people like to use their kids as a crutch. Oh, I have to go home. Oh, my kid is sick. But people do that with their children. They just use them as excuses. I mean, I would too. If I had a kid,
it's perfect.
I'd be like,
it's an easy out.
little Johnny is sick today. I can't come.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
But you do that. But you do that with Kobe.
No, because I love Kobe and he needs to go out.
But like Kobe can hold his pee for 3 hours.
It's not 3 hours. It was like 5 hours.
He could hold his pee for 5 hours.
Yeah, I know you'd leave him for like 15.
No, I used to work an 8 to 9 hour work day and he'd be fine. Like people work. They leave their dogs.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, so we went to Venice Beach, hung out.
You don't sound like you had a really good time. You're very much like, I did this, I did that.
I was fucking sick because I went and saw my mom in Vegas like the weekend before, and I've been sick ever since.
Do you think it was food poisoning?
I don't know what it was, but I couldn't stop throwing up. And so like,
did you throw up this weekend?
No, I didn't throw up this weekend, but I was just like nauseous all weekend. I was being a little bitch.
There's nothing worse though than when your stomach hurts. Right. I feel like you could kind of power through a headache. You could kind of power through like muscle aches or like a sore throat. I don't know. Just being sick in general just fucking sucks.
It does.
Yeah.
It's just like being older. I'm trying to go out and do things. I'm like, whoa, how's my body today?
Struggling.
Right. So I did that, but what did you do?
I traveled to Florida to visit one of my friends. We've been friends since middle school. And then one of our other friends met us there as well. She moved there with her husband, I think like a year ago. But it was the difference of like vacationing or like visiting and hanging with friends in your 30s is so funny compared to your 20s because we were in bed by 9. Or maybe not in bed. We were at home by 9 watching crime documentaries.
Getting comfy
clothes, drinking tea. We were working out every day. I was like, this is so...
That's how you're supposed to do it.
Great. Yeah.
And you did things too.
No, right? Yeah, we were so active. I mean, she lives right by the water. We were kayaking, we were paddleboarding, and I did not realize how bad your depth perception is when you're actually out on the water. So my friend and I were kayaking, and we had one of her dogs on our kayak, and then she and her husband were behind us with their other dogs. They just like kayak and paddleboard with their dogs. It is the cutest thing. But anyway, so we're like hauling ass, me and Catherine, and then we see this yacht coming, and we're like, fuck, like we're gonna get obliterated by this if we keep going. So I'm like, we better stop. And she's like, good idea, before we get run over. And we had one of the dogs, the most important dog.
How many dogs were there?
Well, they have 3 dogs, but we only brought 2 of them out with us. But like the one that we had was Dana's favorite dog, Holly. She's
the one with three legs.
She'll leave the house and be like, Holly, your mommy's favorite. Don't forget it.
Oh, wow.
But so we have Holly on the front, and then Catherine and I are like, we're kayaking. We see this yacht coming, and I'm like, we got to stop. We're gonna get hit because we're going too fast. So we slow down and let the yacht go by. It was at least 4 football fields in front of us. We were not.
So there was no danger.
We were not even close to getting hit by the fucking yacht.
The story was really ramping up.
And I was nervous. Also, I was like, we're absolutely gonna get hit by this boat. Not even close. Yeah, but I mean, that's just how the water is. Like you think that you're like, oh, we're so close to shore, and then you're not. You know, you were a swimmer.
And I just want to like judge your story because it just seemed like it was a lot of fluff to end it with nothing happened.
Oh, okay. Because nothing did happen.
Okay. So you got
the story wasn't to talk about
nothing happened.
Getting hit by a boat. It was to just talk about depth perception in the water and how it is off.
Got it. Okay.
I'm sorry that I wasn't completely... I'm sorry that I didn't get pummeled.
I don't know. I was like invested because the story, was taking forever. But then,
you didn't think that maybe I would tell you if I was like airlifted to the hospital? You literally just told me how you spent all weekend feeling like shit.
I told it in like
that was anticlimactic.
A minute and a half.
Yeah, and I was bored the whole time.
I just feel like guys are like point A straight to point B, and
then
girls
boring.
are like this.
Like you're not a storyteller. Like people were probably like, "What happened?" And then they were glad that nothing.
No, they weren't. They were like, "This was a waste of 5 minutes of my life."
Your story sucked, John.
It wasn't a story. I was just letting you know how the weekend went down. I was sick, and I'm pretty sure I didn't show my friend a good time.
And I fell asleep listening to the whole thing.
Oh, okay. No alligators. No nothing.
You were invested. I saw a starfish.
Oh my God, I'm so over this. Cool. So that was, are we done with the week recap?
Yeah, well, I went to the seafood festival. I went to an art show, Lardy Gras. It was fun. We did a lot of things, and it made me realize that like we have to be better about knowing what's happening where we live. Because if you don't, then like you're not getting out of your house, you're not doing things. So it was nice. It was nice to do
How
things.
do you go about like finding that information out?
I don't know. Google, I guess, like Facebook groups.
Anytime I'd be like, what's happening in LA this weekend? You just type that in.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah.
We do. We really do need it.
That's what I mean. I'm sure there's tons of stuff. We just like are not looking for them.
Well, it's getting warmer soon.
Yeah.
If fucking Wes and Anna don't sign us up for volleyball, I'm going to lose my mind.
No, we're doing beach volleyball.
Beach volleyball.
But that was the great thing too about like being in Florida. The sun goes such a long way for your happiness. I feel like something happens when you travel outside of your home where you are immediately at a new place and your thoughts are just like, should I move here? Like, so what happens?
Excuse me?
No. Not that I want to move to Florida, but I can visit
sure?
anywhere new, and anywhere that I'm at, I'm like,
I always said
here.
Florida was an option. I'm open to Florida.
I feel like it gets too humid though. Like it was nice because it's February.
We're fucking inside 90% of the day.
I know, but California is nice.
There's also people that have pools at their house with like the greenhouse around it.
Like,
it's like glass.
Is it a greenhouse? No, I think they're like mosquito nets.
No, it's glass. It's like
is
a
it
greenhouse
glass?
Around their pool. So maybe so the mosquitoes and shit don't get them.
I don't know. Either way, it was nice, but I don't know. Maybe when we're retired, we can move there.
Okay.
It was really enjoyable.
By the
and
way,
I also just love seeing my friends like live out their dreams.
Okay. So quick cues.
That's it. You don't have any other updates?
It was a very anticlimactic week for me. I was just like trying not to die.
You know why? Because I wasn't here. Like we
did
have
miss
nothing,
you.
no updates because you just like missed me the whole time.
I did miss you. No, I just like held the fort down at the house. Nothing crazy. I can't think of anything. Am I missing something? Oh, let's talk about Valentine's Day for a second. Totally forgot about that. We posted the video, our podcast.
We went live.
Valentine's Day was the most stressful day for us. Normally we talk about how it's chill. We don't go out and do anything. We buy, shit food and eat it at home. We couldn't do anything on Valentine's Day. It was so hectic. We were like getting mad at each other because we had so much to do.
Again, like I was leaving the next day at like 5 a.m.
Right.
But it was fine.
And just, so what? So Alex, we never get each other anything, and Alex fucking gets me like jerky. Like I know you just went to the grocery store and got me stuff,
yeah,
but it was a thought that counts. So I was like, fuck, I didn't get you anything. So then when I picked Alex up from Florida, I made sure to, I went to Erewhon, believe it or not.
Erewhon. I don't think it's Erewhon.
And I got her 3 roses that were like $60. I'm making it up. It goes up every time. I think it was like
$100,
$50,
$200. Worth it.
I talk shit about Erewhon, but it's right there.
Erewhon.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it's called. It starts with an E. Ewan. Anyways, and that was our Valentine's. Celebrated
it was
late.
Nice.
I feel bad though.
Why?
You broke the rule. Cardinal rule, no gifts.
I didn't give you gifts. I brought you snacks.
It was thoughtful.
They were gifts for you.
So it's unfair.
Okay.
Maybe
well,
and you did
better.
a card.
Then do better.
I couldn't find Alex a card, so I took a piece of printer paper and folded it and made her a nice, like, personal card.
I feel like half of our cards to each other are just on, like, printer paper.
Well, you and I are very anti-card people.
I know.
We're against
And you come from a very pro-card family.
I know.
We get cards for Halloween.
Everything.
President's Day. 4th of July.
Every week. Every holiday. Every weekend. Every holiday.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got one every weekend.
I know. I'm against the card industry.
I mean, I like cards, but I just think
I'm against the card industry just like I'm against the napkin industry. I'm all about paper towels.
I don't know though.
Napkins are stupid.
I like fun cocktail napkins.
They don't they don't pick up anything.
No, I know, but like fun ones.
You like festive.
Yeah, festive.
You like festive.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's move on. Let's go. Quick cues. Read them out.
All right, let's jump into our quick cues.
I just said that. That just bothered me so much. I let it go. Let's jump into quick cues. You're
John, what did you miss the most about me while I was gone?
Wait, what did I miss about you?
Yeah, what did you miss the most about me while I was gone? Yeah, like what did you miss the most?
Your body warmth in bed.
That's all that you missed was my body warmth?
Yeah,
you had Kobe.
The bed was cold without you.
Kobe didn't warm you up?
No, I didn't want to sleep next to me.
Oh, that's
He's like sleeping next to a pillow.
Oh,
no, I'm kidding. Protection. Because 2 of us together, we're like, we could take someone.
Oh,
You know?
so you need
So
me
security.
as your sidekick.
Exactly.
Would I be your sidekick or would I be like the main
No, you'd be the sidekick.
event?
I'm obviously Batman and you're Robin.
I don't know. I feel like
if I'm
more,
the one taking the first hit,
but I feel like I have
you're
more
the sidekick.
Batman energy.
Are you taking the first blow to the face?
Maybe.
No, you're not.
Maybe.
You'll take the second blow to the face.
But I'm like the brains of the operation. Like, so if anything, I think Robin would take the first blow. Like,
Well, I don't know.
because he'd be like, let's go. I got you, Batman. Like, I'm.
Just show me the punch. Show me the punch. Do it. Swing. Punch my hand.
I don't want to hurt you.
Punch my hand.
Fuck. Ow.
Why did you punch me hard?
You literally.
No, I wanted the motion. I didn't want you to like punch me as hard as you can in the hand.
Okay, well, you didn't say that. Are you okay?
Kind of more annoyed.
Shocker. All right, we're jumping into our questions now, John. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's
Quick
go.
cues. I'm a 39-year-old man done with looking for a partner and will live a better life being alone. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if that's what you want, there's nothing wrong with that.
If you find happiness in being alone,
I
then
think
yeah.
also by the time you're 39, you're probably so stuck in your
Content.
ways.
It's not stuck in your ways, but you're
meaning
content and
that, like,
happy
you
in
have
your
your
life.
way of doing things that, like, if I was 39 and then like a man tried to come and live in my home, I'd be like, no, we could do our things separately.
I agree.
I just don't think you need to introduce someone into your life, like, unless it's seamless and it's what you want. But ultimately, if you're saying that you think that you would live a better life being alone, that's fine.
I know plenty of people that are alone and that are happy. I know plenty of people that are alone and depressed. So if you're one of those that's not depressed, then it seems like a good fit for you.
Yeah.
And it's just being like confident in yourself and, being independent and, knowing what you want. So I don't see anything wrong with that. But I bet you that's when you'll find someone when you're not looking.
Right. When you're so happy living on your own, someone will interrupt.
So many people tend to just hop from one to the next and never finding themselves. And, it's just trying to find happiness through someone else and not through yourself.
Right. I think that you are only going to find someone who is going to complement your life when like you are fully fulfilled. Like
100%.
Because it's not looking for someone who is going to fill this void and make you happy. Like, you should be happy on your own. So if anything, I'm happy for you.
That was nice.
Yeah. Good first cue.
That was good. It's good. We're making
Question 2. Thoughts on finances in a marriage? Keep it separate or together? What works for you guys?
I feel like we've touched on this a lot last season. For me, when we talk about marriage, you have to, everyone, honestly, it's just my opinion. When I think of marriage, like, you got to go into it fully committed, I think. Because if you're already looking at it in a way where it's like, well, I have my separate this, you have your separate that, it's just very, I think that just starts to kind of like isolate a little more and more in your relationship. And you're already looking at a potential, well, what if situation. And like, I just don't want to have those thoughts at all.
And I know people who have everything separate and that's what works for them. But for us, I think also because like we went into business together, like maybe if we were still working separately, like, I don't know. But even in the beginning when we were working separately, we still, but we didn't join until we were married.
Right.
I think we split things, like the cost of things when we were dating and engaged, but it wasn't until we were married that we were like, all right, one bank account all together.
Right.
I mean, well, we have several bank accounts, but like we're on both of them. 2, it's just what boundaries are you willing to have in your relationship? Like if you were monitoring my purchases and giving me limits on like what I could spend on things, I'd be like,
it just comes down to trust again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a conversation you need to have and like both be comfortable with doing it. To each his own on that. But like when I think about marriage and being in something that's supposed to be for your lifetime, I mean, yeah, you should, I would think you would have joint.
I think it also depends though, like where you're at when you get married. Like if I were to get married being older, would I necessarily feel that it was essential to join my bank account with someone who is also established? You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. So I think it just depends like where you're at and what your
one,
goals
what
are.
What if one is like really successful and the other one's like not doing shit and they're getting married?
Well, what does not doing shit mean?
One's a millionaire and one's pulling in like 30 grand a year.
Okay, but if they're pulling in 30 grand a year, like what else are they contributing to the relationship?
There's no kids, there's nothing yet. It's just the two of them.
I mean, again, this is so hypothetical. Like there's so many different like black
I just want to keep making
scenarios.
this harder and harder. Because now I'm rethinking what I said because I'm like, no, prenup.
I mean, I don't know. Again, I just think that there's no situation where it's black and white.
Everyone's situation is different.
Yeah, you just have to really do what is best for you and what feels right for you.
So basically, it was just a perfect situation for us because we both were starting bottom up, you know?
But finances are a huge factor in reasons why people split up. Arguments. Like I think if one person, like we're really good with our money. So, but I think if I was a huge spender,
right,
that would really create some tension. Yeah.
Either way, the conversation needs to be had. I mean, marriage, kids, finances. What's the other big topic that you need to be having before you get married?
Long-term goals, where you want to live, but definitely kids and finances
are probably one of
them.
Like, so all those that's part of like the big topics of conversation you need to have before getting into like a long-term relationship,
right.
I think.
But for us, what works is pulling everything together.
It's too fucking confusing for us anyways. Like we have too much going on.
To what?
To like focus
to be
on
like, this is my bill and that is your bill.
I know.
Next question. Do men compare their wives/girlfriends' bodies to models and celebrities? How can women feel better about themselves knowing that all men see every day are perfect-looking women in movies and on Instagram?
First off, I think that goes either way.
For sure. I mean, there's
based
hot
off of
guys on the
based
internet.
off of my mom, the amount of like jack dudes my mom sends me from TikTok or Instagram. I'm like, why are you sending me this stuff? She's like, how come you're not?
How come you don't look? How come your muscles aren't that big?
Right, I'm not able to go to the gym for 7 hours a day, and I don't
You're
have
not on roids.
I don't have a script for trend yet, unfortunately. But that's kind of just being out of touch reality a little bit too. I wouldn't expect. What did people say about us? We're attainable.
Oh, someone had mentioned that they were like, Alex and John, it was someone who wanted to work with us, a part, like a brand. And they were like, you guys are attainable fitness.
Attainable,
like attainable.
right.
But no, I think a comparison, no matter what, is the thief of joy. So if you're consistently comparing yourself to other people, because that's ultimately you projecting that your boyfriend or husband is comparing you. Like if you were openly comparing me to people on the internet and you were like, Alex, why don't you look like this bitch? I'd be like, you're the problem. I'm not the problem. Right. So has your spouse or husband or boyfriend actually compared you to someone on the internet? Because is that the story you're telling yourself?
Is that like a grass is greener kind of thing also? It's just like wanting what you can't have, maybe. Maybe he's thinking that way, like, oh,
but unless he's said that.
I'm just spitting ideas out. I don't know.
Right, but I think that that's like just an insecurity that you can have thinking that your significant other is comparing you to models and celebrities. Like there's always going to be someone hotter, smarter, more funny,
stronger, taller,
younger. Yeah, like there's always going to be someone with things that you don't have. But at the end of the day, like no one, so cliche, no one is you. And I really truly believe that though. Like I'm like, God didn't bless me with huge tits because I need to
you got a big head of knowledge.
Right. And I have to give these other bitches a chance. Like if I had huge boobs, blue eyes, and this personality, I mean,
game over.
Game over for everyone. And like, that's just not fair. So I think that you have to know that not everyone has the strengths that you have. And it's easy to compare yourself, but like being hot doesn't necessarily make you happy, doesn't make you a good person, doesn't make you funny, you know?
I think also being educated in that realm, in that space. Like when I see really hot guys, really hot women, I'm more so like I look at it in like proud of them. Like the amount of work you have to go in to be that way.
Sometimes people are just rich and they can pay for
whatever
to look beautiful.
Sure. I mean, you still have to train and do
We're
shit,
just
whatever.
Poor.
Yeah, right. But when I look at that, I'm like, those are unattainable. Those are unattainable bodies unless I have a nutritionist, I'm working out multiple times during the day, I have a trainer, like and all that stuff. Because I feel like I'm a little educated in that realm. We've been working out forever. Like it's unattainable unless you have help.
It is literally impossible to maintain a 6-pack for even 24 hours.
Right. So I don't know. That's how I look at it. I never look at it like I wish you looked like this. Because I'm like that's not gonna happen.
Right. Yeah. And also, that's not going to be fulfilling to you. At the end of the day, that's not going to bring you happiness.
I like to tell myself, I'm like, they probably have a really bad personality.
Yeah, no, for sure. But do you? Because like I don't look at people on the internet, like hot guys, like from the female perspective, and think, damn, if only John was 6'5".
I mean, that is 100% unattainable unless like they pull my spine apart.
But you know what I mean? Like you're you. You wouldn't be the same person if you were 6'5". You'd probably be a piece of shit. I
gotta work harder. You know, right now I'm 5'9". I gotta work harder.
Right. But
I'm only 6'1" right now.
Do you compare me to people on the internet?
No, I don't. I really don't. I'm trying to think. I mean, I'd say like people are hot or whatever, but I'm not gonna like
be like, I wish that I was with this person.
Right.
And
I also look at them too, where I'm like, oh, they're younger. I'm like, dude, they probably have so much energy and like shit. And
you're just tired.
I'm tired.
But regarding how to feel better about yourself when like there's so much other talent and beautiful people out there, you just have to know why you are worthy and what you bring to the table. Like there's so many different things about each and every individual that is unique to you. And that why people love you. And you just have to remember those things and know that like you're beautiful, you're worthy, and you're important, and you're loved.
But if that jackass is saying something like, why don't you look like, I want to know that. Because if he's saying some dumb shit like that, like, fuck him, what's he doing?
Well,
is he working out?
Your person. I wouldn't want to be.
Does he have a six-pack?
You're also never going to, you're also never going to be everyone's cup of tea at the end of the day too. Like some people like blondes, some people like brunettes. Like I'm never going to go blonde. So if you're into blondes, I'm not your person.
I mean, you could bleach it if you wanted to. I'm saying you could if you wanted to. That's all.
What are you saying, John?
I was saying if that's something you wanted, that's attainable.
It's not.
It is. You could bleach your hair.
No, that's not something that I want.
Oh.
Moving on. I don't even know.
I'm going to need like a blanket.
I'm so cold. Like
it's getting colder.
This is not keeping me warm.
It's getting colder the longer we do this.
Feel how cold my hands are. I can't. Your hands feel the same temperature, so they must be just as cold.
Just as cold. My toes are blue. Okay, let's go. Q1.
I don't know why you wore sandals. Okay. There are little moments where I want a kid, then I babysit or see a mother getting no sleep or no privacy or doesn't want to be touched or no date nights or no romantic vacations alone and so much more. I 99.9% don't want kids, but then there are 0.01% that make me want one. I'm in my mid-30s and my husband has 2 teen boys, and I think I'm good with that. I feel occasionally pressured to have kids when people ask, do you feel pressure on when you were going to start having kids? And other questions like that. I don't want them, strongly don't want them. I feel so much freedom and joy by not having them. How do you feel about having kids of your own?
Can you cliff note that real quick? So she doesn't have any kids. Her boyfriend has kids.
She doesn't have any kids. She's in her mid-30s. Her husband has 2 teen boys. And she feels like that's fine. But she still feels the pressure occasionally. But she said 99.9% she does not want kids.
Did she say anything about her parents pressuring her?
No, I think just in general. Yeah.
I just think everyone has that sense in the back, like, am I doing something wrong by not having kids?
I think because we grew up thinking that the norm is to have kids, that when you don't want kids, you feel like you're doing something wrong.
Like against the grain.
Yeah, because I mean, I relate to this so much. Like, I wouldn't say that my percentage is as high. Like she said 99.9% don't want kids. I'm probably like 90%. There's a chance. But there's a chance. But there's like the 10% where like sometimes I see my niece and nephew or my friends have kids and I'm like, oh my God, like how cute would it be to have a little John running around? But then I actually think about the responsibility and I'm like, wow, I really don't know if I want that. And I just think that, you know, a lot of people say if it's not a fuck yes, it's a no. But is that the same with a child? Like, you're responsible for this thing. So if anything, I think that like this is...
Well, it's not a half-assed decision.
Right.
I think it is a fuck yes or a fuck no.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
I mean, you have to be 100% in when you're choosing to bring a child.
I hear people saying shit all the time, like, oh, just take the dive. Like, just do it.
Right.
You won't regret it. But like, that is the fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Like I would rather regret not having a kid than regret having a kid. Right. That would be horrible. Because I think that, again, you're doing what you feel like you want to do. And I think that I have friends and family who have always known that they want to be parents. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. And so they're so happy when they get pregnant and can have kids. But I think like those of us who aren't sure, I don't know. To your question about like feeling pressure or like how we feel when people ask, I know that sometimes it's an uncomfortable question and inappropriate for people to ask, but sometimes people just want to ask because they're curious or they love you or they like.
We get it all the time.
We get it all the time, and I don't think that I'm never.
It's not malicious.
No, it's never malicious, or at least not that I think. But I never get offended when people ask, and we're open books. So I'm just like, I don't know, because I truly don't know.
Yeah, I just don't care. Like, I don't care what others.
Right.
I don't care what other people's opinions are.
Because
like,
at the end of the day, they're not raising your fucking kids.
Right.
You're raising those kids.
Right. If we're going to have a kid, we're going to fucking have a kid when we want to.
When we want to.
I just think the big thing too is we live in LA. For me, the big thing I've told Al was like, I'm not going to have a kid here because we don't I want it to be around family or support. And it's just the two of us out here. I don't know. I could see falling in the, say trap, kind of though, but like falling into it when we were in New York around all your cousins and everyone had kids and like that's the thing to do. And it felt like
but it's not just like kids are not an accessory, like they change your life.
But just in that little like family dynamic and just constantly being around it almost was like, should we have a kid?
Right. Yeah.
You know, and then we left that little circle.
And then I was like, oh, no.
Thank God we didn't.
Yeah, yeah. I know. It really is about like who you surround yourself with, but this is your decision. It is nobody else's. And if people are going to judge you for that, let them.
People are fucking biased too, because anytime anyone's like, you should have kids, it's literally someone who's had kids. I literally go by the, if it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. So if I'm ever like, fuck yes, hopefully you are too.
I just think I'm waiting for the day to come, which may never come, where I'm like, I'm ready. But like, I don't feel like that.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And so we got time. Well, you got time. I'm dying.
Because I think the number one question, or one of the top questions besides like, how do you keep your relationship spicy, was what are your thoughts on kids? And so those are our thoughts. I think that if you want children, you should have children. I think that's a beautiful thing. But
why don't you just keep it simple like that?
But for the rest of us, we're confused and we're not sure yet.
Yeah, right. If you want to have kids, have kids. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We'll just keep practicing.
We need to practice.
Yeah, we need to practice more.
We haven't nailed it down yet.
How to have
babies. The babies.
Okay, next question. I have been in a relationship for almost 10 years, but we're not married. We have 2 children together and want to get married, but he doesn't. Oh, and I want to get married, but he doesn't. It's causing a lot of conflict and problems. Mostly, I'm just hurt. We've been together for so long, so I don't understand why. He was married before, but it was brief. I think he has a lot of issues with it because of his ex, but it shouldn't come between our lives. What are your thoughts?
She wants to get married. He doesn't want to get married.
Correct. They've been together for 10 years. Am I going to have to cliff note every fucking question?
I think so. Because I kind of like forget halfway through what they said in the beginning.
Like, this wasn't that long. It was like 5 sentences.
This just reminds me like the train's going down. The train's going for 1 mile down the street. The train has 3 apples. The train drops off 2 apples.
Are you kidding?
How many apples does the train have left?
All right. Either way, they have 2 kids together for 10 years. She wants to get married. He doesn't. My first question is this something that you've had a conversation? Is this a conversation you've had before? Or are you confused? Do you need me to read it again?
No, I'm just trying not to laugh. Sorry.
Why?
I don't know. I just thought my train analogy was funny. If a car is going 80 miles an hour, how long did it take him to go 80 miles?
What's the answer?
80 minutes. Boom.
I don't know. I wasn't actually paying attention to you reading or telling the train story. Okay, so what are your thoughts, John?
I don't know. To each his own. I'm not going to be like, this guy better marry you.
Is that our answer to everything? To each his own. To each their own.
Playing devil's advocate. Do I think you should get married coming from a white heterosexual male that's married? Yeah,
sure.
You should get married because you have 2 kids together. It seems like that's the next step in this fucking process. On the other hand, what the fuck do I know? If he doesn't want to get married, then fucking leave him.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you've been together for 10 years. Was the conversation of marriage like never brought up? Like, did you always know he never wanted to get married, or is this new information?
Or were you like, did he say something and you're like, oh no,
I'll change him. That's the thing. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think I need more details before I could give actual
but let's
thoughts
just
on this.
throw our opinions out there and just piss people off, Alex.
Why not?
That's what
Why
we
the
do.
fuck not? Then I think you're dumb for being with him if he never said he wanted to marry you. But
if that's the case, like
What are you
you're not gonna fucking change
No,
someone.
people don't change.
If that was a thought in your head, we're not saying it was, but if that's a thought in your head, then you're dumb. But if that wasn't, then and he said something to you, then that guy's a prick.
She thinks that it was because of his ex, like ex-marriage,
Who gives a
ex-relationship.
fuck? So he's gonna use that as an excuse, like, oh, like I was hurt in a previous relationship.
No, and
fucking take a number.
go to
Everyone
therapy.
has.
Right. But I think that like he could have, if he didn't tell you these things prior, like did he say you're like, there's a lot of thinking and not a lot of like communication here. And so I just think like, ready? It's about communication. But seriously, like, why haven't you had this conversation before? Like, did he say he doesn't want to get married again because he's already been married?
Before this lady gets mad at us, maybe she did have the combo. We don't know.
So
we don't know.
But I'm just going off of.
I want everyone to know
We don't know.
We're going directly off of what you people write. So when you write something you think, does this sound stupid?
No, that's not it. We just need all the info.
We need all the details.
Give us
Put it in a way where it makes you not look
details as you can, because otherwise we're just like here to wonder.
Right.
And give you trash advice.
It's either this guy's a piece, this guy is an asshole. Like if he's leading you on, like I feel really bad for you, and that's fucked up on his part.
Agreed. Yeah.
Or you never had this conversation, which was stupid on your part.
Right. Either way, someone.
Or you thought you were going to change him, and that's also you're stupid
Either
on your
way,
part.
someone is stupid.
One of the two of you stupid.
But it's okay. I mean, there's a lot of stupid people. You're not alone.
Right. Hopefully it works out, because it seems like you want to get married, and
I'm always going to be in favor of the person writing in.
I cannot wait for you to read one of the other questions. I'm going to see if you're in favor of that person.
Fabulous. Well, either way, I'm going to try to be in favor of them. So I think that she was under the expectation that he was going to eventually marry her. And so I'm sorry.
Okay. So then if that's the case, then let's just go off of that.
Okay.
If that's the case, you need to have another conversation with him. Safe space, just the two of you around, have the convo, go from there, because you have needs and wants and desires, and you have his children with you. And I just think like that's something you really want. And if that's not something he doesn't want, then you guys have to have a serious conversation. If you have one life to live. So
right. Life is short. Have the combo.
Yeah.
Next question. How do I suggest to my girlfriend to begin a workout regimen? Is this where you're like, yeah, no, here we go.
Are you in favor of this guy?
Let's see. She put on more weight since we started dating. And while I still find her attractive, I definitely prefer a more fit build. I really don't want her to think I'm calling her fat or that I don't find her attractive anymore. What's the best way to go about this? Don't, sir. You don't fucking go about this. What are your thoughts, John?
Is he working out every day? Is he taking care of himself?
I don't care about what he's doing.
I need to like make this guy look a little bit better, so it makes me feel better than saying it. Because if you're taking care of yourself, maybe if you guys were both in shape to begin with, and one lets himself go, for what reasons?
Lets himself go, right? But like, it's never just like that black and white. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna decide to be lazy today.
They're not married, right? They're just dating.
Yeah.
Honestly, dude, if you're not attracted to her anymore, then I would just move on. Move on, because what's going to hurt her feelings more? Are you going to tell her you think she's fat? Because that's basically what you're saying. That's basically what you're saying there. Or if you're just not attracted to that person anymore, like don't try to change someone. Break their heart. Don't break them mentally.
So fucking shallow.
Don't break them mentally. I'm thinking of the woman in this. I don't want to hurt her feelings.
Like, again, everyone has their preference of like what they're attracted to, of course, but there's so much more than that. Like if you have to be attracted to the person number one. Of course, but like there's not just she's not just like putting on weight for shits. And if maybe she was more fit and not happy,
okay,
and maybe,
identify what's going on
and
first.
Maybe now she's in a place where she's mentally happy. Like you have to find out where she is mentally before you could just start like breaking her down physically. Like there's so much more to that than just being like, what, like you've put on weight. Go to the gym.
I first said, don't say anything. I wouldn't say anything. I would never tell a woman, hey, you put on weight.
We've gotten questions like this before, and I think that we've answered in the past, like on previous episodes. But ultimately, it comes down to having the conversation of like, what's going on, or like, are you well mentally? Like, and then again, not saying that because you put on weight, you're not okay mentally.
Just check in.
And then also, I think encouraging people to be active together, again, it's going to be really tough to just be like, go work out if you're not also going to the gym. Like in relationships, if you want a positive behavior or a changed behavior, I think lead by example. You start implementing a healthier lifestyle, showing that like, but if she's happy and if she's fulfilled and confident and living her life happy with herself.
Confident, happy in herself and nothing's going on mentally or anything. Then leave her.
Leave her the fuck alone.
No, leave her. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying leave her alone. You're saying break up.
It doesn't matter. Like this is against the grain or not. If you're not happy in general, maybe it's something with you or whatever. Don't bring that person down. If they are happy, confident in their lives, but you're saying to him just like muffle it. No, because then he's not happy.
No, I'm not saying to muffle it. I'm saying like
hear me out. We don't know if he is working out and taking care of himself. Okay. It doesn't say that in there. He's just saying she's gaining weight, blah, blah, blah. So like if this guy is a piece of shit and not working out, like again, like you said, lead by example. Like if you're not doing anything, you have no right to say anything. If you are taking care of your body and health and wellness and all that is top priority for you, that must have been in the beginning of your relationship too. So I'm assuming that you guys were both on that same track together and she kind of fell off that. Now, if nothing's going on, you need to check in, like you said, mentally, is she okay? Is there something going on in her life that's affecting her? Hold on, let me just clear the air on my side. Nothing's going on, and she's just happy and content on how she is. Leave her alone, like you said. Leave her alone. And then you need to look at yourself, man, and figure out if you're attracted to her or if it's something that you what?
I'm going to
Jesus, you're not being an active listener. You're not being an active listener.
It was us. I am being an active listener.
No, you could not wait to talk.
Disagree. I think that like if I'm gonna put myself in like this relationship shoes, and like let's say that I put on weight and you're now not happy with how I look. You prefer me more fit. But if I'm happy, like I'm not going to change my body or work out or change my diet unless I'm unhappy. So like unless I'm looking in the mirror or I'm feeling uncomfortable in my skin, I'm not going to do anything. Like I have to be the one who wants that.
Okay, so my question to that is, as me, the male in the relationship, if I'm finding that I'm no longer attracted to this, you're saying that he's got something on it. Say it was me and I have something. I have to look at myself, I guess, and be like, what is priority? Like I fell in love with her for her personality as well. Like, I don't know. What are you saying to him? He just fucking muffles how he feels? Because no one should muffle how they feel. Or muzzle.
I just think that that's like such like a shallow.
Of course it's shallow, but people are attracted to people. And that's number one. If you are no longer attracted to that person, like what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? Now I'm asking advice. But seriously, like what is the guy or woman in that relationship, what are they supposed to do? This has to happen more times. Of course. I mean, and it's a shitty conversation to have. And I know it's a shallow statement, but like, let's be real. It happens. So
okay,
like,
so if roles were reversed and you were putting on weight.
Sure. No, don't do roles are reversed because...
No, because
if you look at cultural norms, it's so much more like probably women think that men are doing it. So it's harder for men because men are...
So if you said something to me and you were like, Alex, I'm not happy with your body. I think you need to work out more. That would crush me.
I would never say that in those. So then, what do you? I wouldn't say it in any of that way at all.
So then, how would you say it? You shouldn't fucking say anything. I think you lead by example. You continue to lead your healthy lifestyle, and if I'm happy, feeling a little bit extra curvy in my pants, let me live my life.
So the guy who's not happy, or even the woman, lead by example and just pray to the stars that their significant other hopefully gets on board.
No, I just think that if your value in her is just in her vanity and how she, she looks, then I think that there's also then deeper things in your relationship that you're not connecting on, and you probably are better off not being together.
I agree.
Because I'm saying, if I put on weight, how would you, like, if you had said anything or commented on my weight, it would crush me. So what would you do?
Every relationship is different. Every situation is different.
I agree that you still need to be attracted to your partner. But again, we're also only going off of like, we don't know how long they've been together, blah, blah, blah. But
I think, what?
I would argue that it's not just a weight thing between you guys or just what's going on with her. Like,
of course,
if you're not happy with her weight, like, and that's all that you're seeing,
you have to look at yourself.
Then there's other things that you're not happy with. Like, it's not just her weight. I just think that like people fluctuate. Like, I fluctuate like 15 pounds between our relationship, and I don't think you've ever once commented on my body. Unless it's a compliment and you're like, damn bitch.
I mean, I also see you every day, so I wouldn't know. Like, I wouldn't be able to see the difference.
I don't think it's about the weight here. I think it's so much more than that. But I mean, I know what you're saying, that like you have to be attracted to your partner, but look at the other things that are going on in your relationship.
I feel like I need to clear the air a little bit though, because it probably makes me look like a piece of shit tool bag I'm just trying to like, I know this is such a touchy, sensitive topic, and I know it's very common.
But
so breaking it down, I know we keep repeating, but it's just like breaking down, make sure your partner's okay and nothing's going on. If your partner's happy and content in their life, you should not say anything to wreck that and ruin that. You also need to look at yourself. Why is this such a priority to you?
Right, because
okay, but if it is, because it is for some people, maybe superficial looks is like the only thing they care about, then it's like you shouldn't be with that person.
And then you shouldn't be with any person. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be so unsatisfied when you're married to your wife and she starts getting wrinkles and she has a kid.
Beauty doesn't last forever.
No, exactly. Like, there's so many other things that bring value to your relationship than just like your looks.
Is that funny? That kind of goes back to what we said earlier about like unattainable bodies. And I said, I look at those people and I go, oh, they probably have really bad personalities.
Well, you justify things to try to make yourself feel better at the end of the day. But people are multidimensional. The things that they bring to the table are not just their looks. And again, if you're only in this relationship because of how she looked before and was fit, again, I think you have to be attracted to your partner. But there's so many things that attract me to John other than your looks. Like, if it was fully physical, I wouldn't be with you.
But in the beginning it was.
No, it wasn't.
Lie. Yes, it was. You thought I was so hot. I could even say that with a straight face.
Yeah, I did. Me kissing you on your forehead while I wore heels.
I'm not touching your hand.
I think, again, like, there's so many things that attract me to you that are not physical. Again,
you could have fooled me because you only talk about physical attributes about me, not my personality.
Of course, when you're walking around the house naked, swinging your dick around, like, yeah, how else am I supposed to, like?
Dad, don't listen to this. I'm hoping I didn't come off like an asshole, but I think it's more common than you think.
I agree. And I think that people are more shallow than you think. And then
no, I know people are shallow.
No, for sure.
I'm not saying.
But then don't be in those relationships. Like,
right. If somebody's shallow, I feel like you would catch on to that real quick.
You'd hope so. But yeah, if anything, do her a solid and let her know that you're a piece of shit. Okay. Next question. So I have been in a relationship with this guy that I have kids with for about 5 years. We have a very crappy and vanilla sex life. He's like a 2-minute goer, then rolls over and kisses me on the forehead.
Nothing wrong with that.
A few years ago, I caught him masturbating to one of his childhood friends' Facebook profile photos.
That's a problem.
And then he lied to me. John, are you just like the DJ? Like, get it. That's shitty.
On the ones and twos.
You fucked up. I'm starting over.
This is how I cliff note what's going on in my head.
All right.
Keep going.
A few years ago, I caught him masturbating to one of his childhood friends' Facebook profile photos, and then he lied to me when I caught him red-handed. I still think about it over and over again, and my feelings get hurt. Not too long ago, I found out that she reached out to him, asking him to have sex with her and touch him inappropriately, which he told me about immediately. How do I get over this situation? How do I make our sex life better?
So the girl reached out to him?
Yes. So
but he told his wife or girlfriend immediately?
Here we go with the cliff notes.
Right?
So he was caught by his wife masturbating to this girl's profile picture. And then quite recently, I think, not too long ago, yeah, she found out the same girl reached out to him to fuck.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening here. They've already communicated. What childhood friend from Facebook, whatever, and then out of the blue, this person.
Right, like, did she somehow get like some ESP? Is that the right word?
Sure.
Is it?
Well, you got it.
Yep, they're connected.
Yep.
The vibrations in the station.
REM cycle.
Yeah, REM cycle, that's sleep. Sure. Yep, they REM'd together.
ESP through REM.
Yeah. And she knew that he was just whacking off to her profile picture. She felt it. She was like, you know what? Jimmy from high school is...
Did she, at the end, was she asking for advice on what to do?
Right now, it sounds like she's on board with making it work.
I was about to say, I think your first problem there is not worrying about how to make your sex better.
Yeah.
I think your first problem is how do you get those divorce papers signed quicker? I mean, there's no way. I'm really hoping you're not that naive to think that they haven't spoken to each other before this. There's no way that is just a coincidence.
I think he probably told you that she reached out to him because he felt guilty. Like there's some sense of he's trying to tell you before you catch him type of thing. But you don't just...
He masturbated to this woman's photo that he knows. And then she messaged him. It's, get away from this. Get away from him.
I'm just putting myself in her shoes though. Like, you want to give your husband the benefit of the doubt for sure. But I think that like, this is now 2 times that the same person is involved in some sexual behavior with your husband. Like, again, the first time was him to her, but like, I'm just saying she's the common denominator here. It's not like he was masturbating to some random person on the internet. It was her. And then she reached out. Fishy. I'm not going to give you tips on how to make your sex life better. I agree with John that I think we need to give you tips on how to leave your husband. Yeah. Or
the first thing you need to do is, that's not the priority. You really need to, you got to dive deeper. You got to dive deeper because there's no way this is the first time they've communicated.
Do you think that she needs to get more like proof that something has happened? Or because at this point, the
proof's in the pudding, baby. Proof's in the pudding.
Okay. But he hasn't like physically cheated on her. And
everyone's definition of cheating is different. How many people say watching porn's cheating, or how many people say
correct, right? But do you think though that because he was saying that she reached out and he, I guess according to this, like just told his wife like, oh, she reached out. So you just think that he's lying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is a pretty easy question to answer, I feel like.
I mean, I don't know if it's as easy just because...
From an outsider, it is. For her, I'm sure it's way more complicated. You love the person and you want to make it work.
Also has kids with him. Like, but no.
You didn't tell me that in the cliff note.
John...
I don't remember.
I think that's in there. Yeah, she has kids with him. And they've been together for 5 years.
Oh, that's tough.
I mean, again, I don't think that kids... Yes, I know that people are like, stay for the kids, but like, it's going to be, should you be miserable in a relationship for the sake of the children? I think your kids would understand.
For the sake of yourself, though, you're doing it right by asking for advice, and you're not just completely going off the deep end and like, I'm done, blah, blah. Like, you want to get more information. You want to get more details. And like, I know you want to make sure you're making the right decision before you make a rash decision. So
right.
I get, that's good what you're doing.
I think that there's more to the story. I don't think he's being 100% honest with you. And I think that you don't feel great about this because like that's in your gut. Like I think trust your gut here and know that this is fishy for a reason. Something is off. It's not just like your husband was, innocently masturbating to someone's profile picture. Like, he knows this person, and then coincidentally she just reached out about wanting to have sex, and he felt the need to tell you. Like, I think he felt the need to tell you because he felt guilty, or he didn't want you to catch him. So I do think that there's probably more that's going on here.
Yeah. Dig.
Steal that phone. Okay, but like, what's actual advice? Like,
I did. You need to get more information. So honestly, maybe you message her. Maybe you reach out to her and be like, how long has this been going on? Just start with that.
Or couples counseling. I mean, I think that you could bring things like if you do want to stay with your husband, like these are hard conversations to have.
I don't think couple counseling's first. You think it's first? I think she needs to get more information first.
Well, either way, it's a shitty thing to have in your relationship. Like, because what is getting more information going to do? Like, yes, it might give her more of a reason to leave, but if he just keeps denying it, let's say she doesn't find anything, she's still going to feel insecure not trust.
Well, if you're going to stay with him, if your plan is to stay with him, then yeah, you need to go to couple counseling.
Because now it's about rebuilding trust and being
and gaining the tools on how to do that.
I want to know, did you ask him why he was masturbating to this girl? Like, were you like, why her? Why any? Like,
who the fuck jacks off like a pilgrim? I stole that line from This Is the End. Like, to photos. I mean, obviously has a crush on her. There's so much porn out there, and you're jerking off to a picture of somebody you know.
Oh, yeah. If I've caught you jerking off to someone that you knew, that would crush me.
Right. Anyways, okay. We don't have enough time for any more questions, so we're going to go into our icks for the week.
Anyways, so still seek professional counsel.
Yes. Right. And the icks for a week.
All right, John, do you have an ick for me? I know we weren't really together, though, this week.
Yeah, I have two.
Okay. Oh, you have two?
I have two.
I think we can only do one. I don't really want my feelings to hurt twice.
Okay, maybe I'll do the big ick. The other ick,
whatever, give it to me. I'll take it. Give it to me straight, John.
I think the big ick was our communication was off a little bit.
How?
So Alex and I made this deal. We're like, people can come visit us, whatever. We're not picking them up from LAX. LAX is a bitch to get to, and it's just so time consuming. Like, we'll pay for their Ubers. We'll pay for people's Ubers, whatever. So I thought the pact was for everyone. No one's getting a ride to LAX. So the day it's 9:00 at night.
Continue.
I'm getting scared. The night before Alex has to go to Florida, and I'm like, oh, when's
Continue.
I'm like, when's your flight? She's like, well, I got to be at the airport at 5:30 a.m. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, so what time? Like, yeah, what time are you calling the Uber? And she's like, what are you talking about?
I think my head spun around 3 times.
What are you talking about? I'm like, well, I just assumed you were getting an Uber because we're not giving people rides to LAX. She's like, that does not apply to me. And
damn straight it doesn't.
I should have stopped right there, but I digged a little more. I'm like, well, that information was not known to me.
What about it applying to both of us?
Yeah, I just assumed we weren't picking anyone up for the fucking...
There's a lot of things that I would do for you that I wouldn't fucking do for other people, John. We're married. You're not going to drive me to the airport?
No, I will. I just like...
No. I just assumed. Like, what do you mean? If I didn't offer to drive you...
We both assumed.
What do you mean?
You assumed that we would give each other flights, rides.
When we said that about LAX, we were like, oh yeah, other people. Like guests when they come to visit.
Everyone.
We're like, so you just
okay. Listen. I'm fine giving you a ride to the airport. I'm totally fine.
John,
I just wish we cleared the air beforehand.
There's a lot of things that you in relationships you do for your partner that you don't do for the fucking world. I would wipe your ass if you asked me to. I'm not going and wiping everyone's ass.
Okay, well, fair enough. I'm just saying,
no,
a little more communication would have been better.
Communication did not need to be had. That's just common knowledge that in your marriage you do those things. So you're like, yeah, Alex, take the fucking Uber. Off you go, peasant. So rude. So rude.
I'm not gonna say my other ick then.
No, say it.
No, I'll leave that one.
No, because I know what it is. It's that when I'm on vacation, I'm bad at like keeping my phone and communicating with you. And for someone who wants to communicate, you didn't care about shooing me off an extra hour.
I would have communicated if it even like went in my radar. I just knew or assumed that it was like, oh, that's what it is, because we've already had the conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I didn't know some things
John
don't apply to you, so now I know. I'm just glad I know.
Do we need to start like making a list?
I follow the rules.
Do we need to like make a list of like what applies in our marriage versus like what we do for other people?
It's very black and white, okay, for me. You gotta tell me exactly. I gotta write everything down. Need it verbatim. Okay, so anyways. But yeah, my other ick is like when Alex goes away, she says she doesn't have her phone on her, which is a lie.
I was literally kayaking, almost getting hit by a yacht.
That was a mile away, yeah. So
it was. Also, you don't understand how windy it was. We were out there for
I'm not just talking about Florida, just in general. You just never answer your phone.
Because
like, what if Kobe
when I'm hanging
died?
with people in the moment, like I don't have my phone out.
Yeah, but then you like post on Instagram.
When was I on Instagram that entire day?
You don't have your Apple Watch on?
I didn't bring it. I left it. It was literally in our bedroom charging on the charge station the entire time that I was gone.
I wonder if that was what was chirping. Anyways, so those are my icks. Really struck a
Are you done?
nerve.
Are you done
there, huh? Yeah. What's your ick? What's your ick?
You're just my ick. Just you. It was going to be also the fact that like you thought that it was okay to just not drive me to the airport.
Was it really going to be?
Well, one of them, but then I was like, you know what? No, I won't dive into John. So that's a shared ick.
Okay.
But my other ick is that you're just a bad host.
I'm not a bad host.
This is why. So
I'm not a bad host.
When I go out of town,
I'm a guy.
John
I don't need to make a custom-made
Can I
charcuterie board.
Can I finish? When I go out of town, John likes to use this as, oh, Alex is going out of town. Let me invite my friends to come visit. And I'm always like, no. And it's not because I want to like interfere with your boy time. It's because I want to make sure that your guests are taken care of.
That's
because
the biggest piece of bullshit lie I've ever heard.
You
want to be here so you
Does everyone have towels? Like, did your friends even like? You had no plans. I come home also. The charcuterie board was left on like our cutting board, our ugly cutting board. We have so many other things to display things nicely. Oh, we're guys. We don't care. But just like do things nicely.
First off, as a guy, I'm an amazing host. Okay, I made salmon and rice for Diego. I made a charcuterie board. Just because it wasn't on a nice fucking plate doesn't mean I didn't do it. I made breakfast both days. Basically, I was wine and dining him pretty much.
I just think that
I'm a great host.
You like, were the bathrooms even clean? Like, were your pubes everywhere?
Yes,
like,
I cleaned.
I'm concerned
I cleaned,
about.
I vacuumed. I scrubbed the floor.
I never thought I'd like turn into my mom this way because like growing up, I'm like, Mom, no one cares what the house looks like, but like I care.
I think you're really downplaying what I did.
I don't know. I wasn't here, but I did come home and see the remnants on the charcuterie board.
Well, I didn't want to throw it out. I don't want to waste it.
You know, and that's what I know that you were probably like, well, I'm cutting the meats and cheese on here anyway, so why make an extra dish? And the only reason why I know this is because when we started dating,
I clean all the dishes. You don't clean the dishes. You leave them in the fucking sink.
You literally would like, you and Goo, you would have like your vat of like meat and pasta in one pot. And you would like eat it right out of there. You wouldn't even put it on a plate. Like you would just eat it from there. And you're like, dig in.
It wasn't pasta. Like, it was chicken, rice, and a bunch of cans of vegetables.
No, but you like sometimes would switch it up and you'd have like pasta and sauce.
Sure.
And
meatloaf.
You just
it looked like cocaine.
It was like
bricks.
a community pot that you would eat out of. And I'm like, what? No dishes. No dishes.
It's just so much wasted time with dishes. Your mom and my mom are so horrible when they make dinner. Dinners are great and they taste amazing, but it's like 9,000 utensils.
They just want to make it look nice. Like you guys are the extremes. There's a balance. Like you don't have to just.
And nobody cleans as they go. No one ever cleans as they go. So after dinner, then we spend 10 minutes eating and we spend like an hour and a half of cleaning.
That is the key to cleaning is clean as you go.
Clean as you go.
You got to do it as a team also though.
You do. Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm so hungry. All right, are we done?
I don't know. Do you have any other aches that you want to get off your chest?
No, I love you.
I love you too. Oh. Hand tug. My hands are freezing.
But
anyway,
thank you guys.
Thanks guys for tuning in. You know what I also want to say? We should have put this at the beginning of the episode. Give us those ratings, guys. 5 stars only.
Subscribe, email, comment.
Comment, subscribe, share with your friends.
This is film, so it's on YouTube.
We're on the YouTubes at Give It To Me Straight Podcast. I think that's what it is. We're on Instagram at Give It To Me Straight Podcast, and you can email us at hello@giveittomestraightpodcast.com. And you can go to our website at giveittomestraightpodcast.com as well.
Wow, that's a lot.
I know, that is a lot.
Anyways, thank you guys. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.